stay with money, because the question about what becomes of the credit balance on the mobile money wallets of subscribers when they die has got many accusing the telcos of illegally appropriating such funds. Though the amounts may not amount to much in a lot of cases, the growing popularity of the payment platform has meant that a lot more funds are being moved onto it. It is estimated that a whopping 233 billion cedis was moved via mobile money in 2018. So what happens to the credit balances that dead subscribers would leave behind? Now, when I brought up the conversation on Facebook 3 weeks ago, most of the 500 people who posted comments had never thought about it. So I asked the Chief Executive of the Ghana Chamber of Telecoms, Kenneth Ashibe.
Most of the time, most of these wallets do not carry a lot of money.
Yeah.
So you find out that most of the mobile money operators would have next of kin, and you need to put the name there, you need to put, you know, a number there. So what would happen is that if somebody dies, you can go with an ID of yours as a beneficiary, and then you would also have to prove that the person is dead. So you need to be able to go with a death certificate to go and say that Mr. A or Miss B, who had an account with you, is dead, and you know my name is in there as the beneficiary. They will do the necessary checks, and then they'll be able to pay the money to you.
Except a lot of the time, you wouldn't really know that somebody has made you next of kin. How do you get to know that you've been made next of kin?
Well, the interesting thing is that for the mobile money operator, how would they know that the person is dead? You see, so it's important for all of us that when we are signing these documents, it's not only mobile money. Sometimes it's even, you know, as NITs, you know, we don't take these things seriously. Nobody says somebody should die, but you see, one of the things that is very, you know, would happen certain is the fact that will die. So once you make somebody a next of kin, it's important that you let the person know that the person is a next of kin. You know, so all I would advise is that if you know that your relative, you know, has been using mobile money for his transactions, and you are the person who is inheriting the person, you know. So if there's a will, you don't even know that. You can go with the will, you know, you can, with your ID, with a death certificate, go to any mobile money operator and go and say that this is what has happened. Even if you don't know there's an account there, they will definitely do the checks for you. And then if they are found that legally you can have access to the funds, it will be given to you. You should bear in mind that, you see, I can put your name in there as next of kin, but if after that I make a will, and the will is after that, and the will says that the fund should go to somebody else, because the will comes after this next of kin transaction, it is the person on the will who would be a beneficiary to the money.
Except that it turns out that most people, we've been talking about the materiality of things and of these amounts, and indeed most of the people wouldn't really think about willing or indicating in their will who gets the money or the balance on their mobile money wallet. So if that doesn't happen, these funds are just going to be sitting there, and that's why people will think that the mobile money operators or telcos end up taking these funds.
But you see, the interesting thing is that by the very nature of the way we operate our mobile money in Ghana, the monies don't sit with the telcos. The money sits with the banks. And fortunately for us, you know, even before the passing of this bill, Bank of Ghana has been regulating the electronic money issuers very strictly. And the procedure is that once an account goes dormant, you know, it would move into a dormant mode. The telco, the mobile money operators will keep it for a while. And after that, it has to move, you know, to the central bank.
Yeah.
So even if you don't know, that money cannot go to
end up with the telcos.
No, it cannot. Even not with the banks that keep the float. And the central bank, because of the fact that at the central bank, if it's 100 years and all of that, maybe it would revert to the state.
We've been having this conversation on, so it started on social media, and the conversations, it appears people are saying, if you look at the processes you have to go through to retrieve such funds, it's about the same as you retrieving funds from the bank.
Yeah.
But these monies may not be that significant. So if they're not that significant, we should find other ways of going about it, or making the process as simple as possible so that you don't require one to go and get secure letters of administration and all that, and at the end of the day come back and get only 100 cedis on their mobile
So
money.
you see, that's true, and that's why you find out that for most of the mobile money operators, they do the next of kin. So once the next of kin is there and your name is there, you go with a debt. But you see, you need to establish that the person is dead. You know, because you don't want to leave room and somebody, because I've traveled, somebody will now come and collect my money. So you need to establish that the person is dead. You need to establish that you are the person who is the next of kin. So generally, you would not have to go through the early route. The only thing that might happen.
Are you saying that you don't have to go through the letters of administration procedure before you secure the funds?
No, for the very first time, no. If you go and you have an ID, you have your death certificate that shows that you are the next of kin, the money will be given to you through that process.
All right.
But we should bear in mind that mobile money has changed the way it's, even on the mobile money wallets, there are pensions that are on it. So if you're running a mobile money and you have a pension scheme that you are undertaking, it means that is money that is going to come to you either in your pension or when you are no more. So I think it's important for all of us Ghanaians, and we need to be able to educate all of us that mobile money has moved away from where it's just the issue of using it to transfer money. It's people using it to do business. And the interesting thing is that all the mobile money operators pay interest on their account. So there are some people who that's the only bank they have.
Yeah.
So they keep money on that. So let's not take it for granted. And I think it's important that we educate everybody that as you operate it, and for most of the people who are also doing it, the first time people who are doing mobile money, this is the only way they are coming into the financial system. So they don't even know, like the way if you have had a bank account, you know that you need to let other people know, you need to make sure when you're doing your will, you have to, or the fact that immediately somebody dies. When we do the LA, the first thing we do is to go to the person's bank. So what would have to happen is that in as much as you go to the person's bank, you should also be able to go to the person's mobile money operator wallet and make sure you can go and retrieve the funds at that time.
Now, whilst we're talking about credit balances, there are also instances where some of these people actually have debit balances on their account because they take loans, mobile money loans and all that. How are the telcos dealing with that as well?
You see, this is a space that is evolving, and even I'll tell you with the banks, it's difficult for them coming out at people who, when the person is dead, and so and again, it's the materiality of it, so if somebody's taking, and those loans are not huge loans, so the cost of going to retrieve that, so it's a risk that the telcos would have to take, that when the person passes, what means are you securing those loans? Though they are unsecured, you need to find a way of securing them.
All right, so now it's not too late for you to go to the telcos and find out whether a deceased relative or friend has some money sitting on their mobile money, in their mobile money wallet. Except you may go there and they'll tell you there's a loan to be paid, which wouldn't be too pleasant. All right, we're taking